few minutes to join on in before we start. I hope everybody is experiencing some good weather in this nice early March or late March. I can't believe the time's already passed. Cool. I think we have a critical mass to begin here. Really excited to be having Jason Walker here on the call with us. He is one of the leaders at Capital One. He's also an investor on Honeycomb too. So Jason has invested in several Honeycomb businesses and was really excited to hear about Jason's perspective on how we can educate business owners on maximizing their business credit cards. So Jason, if you want to take it away by quickly introducing yourself, and then we can, get started.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. And it's not Amber. That's throwing me off, Anne Marie, right?
Yes, I know. I'm using Amber Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to be on. Like Anne Marie said, I am Jason Walker here at Capital One. I invited my colleague, who was recently promoted to a people leader, although not over me, Lauren McGorman. And so I am based here in Pittsburgh. She's up in Buffalo. When you heard Capital One, you might have thought it was going to be Jennifer Gardner and Samuel L. Jackson. I am sorry to disappoint. It's just Jason and Lauren, but we're going to have a lot of information for you today, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully we have some time for some Q&As. So if you have questions, I've been at this almost 9 years now. Lauren is about 7 years in. Together, we've probably helped close to 2,000 businesses, think about their business credit cards, how to use them, how to be effective with them. We are coming at this with the perspective of truly wanting to help business owners. We have some ideas and why we think Capital One is great and have helped a lot of people, but we're interested in just really helping you guys with whatever it takes. So to give a little background, I think this will be helpful. I've been on this side in the big corporate world for a long time, but I actually was raised. My dad was a small business owner. I saw it growing up. It was a business that had been in the family since 1923. And unlike many of you on this call, it was something that I said, I saw the stresses, I saw the strains, and I said, hey, I don't want to be a part of that. That's not for me. So I applaud you guys as business owners. What you're doing is a big deal. And I love supporting you. At the early stage of my career, I'm getting older. I'm actually thinking about opening a business or doing something now. But in the early years, I said, that isn't for me. There's just too much risk and too much stresses and all that. So I didn't want to do it, but I understand and appreciate a lot of what you guys go through in that. As Anne-Marie said, I am an investor. I read about Honeycomb probably about 4 years ago in the Pittsburgh Business Times. Thought it was really cool. I've invested, I think, in 6 businesses now. I actually got my kids are college age, and last year or 2 years ago for Christmas, you guys had the program of like you could give a $100 gift card.
Yeah.
And so I did that just to say is, hey guys, not only do we want to shop local, support local, but you can invest locally, and it can be like a Christmas gift that you're not going to wear out or throw away. It can be something that really impacts your own financial position. So that was a really neat thing I was able to do for them, and they've enjoyed watching their investment grow a little bit. So it's been fun.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm really here to talk about, and I'll share my screen here. Lauren, do you want to say hi? I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
Can I share my screen? It's not, I need to send a request,
yep,
I guess.
absolutely. Get that sorted.
So yeah, hi everyone. My name is Lauren. Like Jason said, I live in the Buffalo area. Been with Capital One for going on almost 7 years now. But really love just helping local business owners to help them maximize their cash back rewards. So really excited to talk with you guys a little bit more about it and hopefully be able to help you guys maximize the rewards you earn.
And I am going to click, I know I need to click to, I'm going to show a video in a minute as well. So I need to click to audio settings. And this is something I forget to do sometimes. when I share. There it is. Sorry. Perfect. I think we're good now. Everyone can see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it perfectly.
Perfect. So that was about me. That's about Lauren. We're going to get into it now. So really, we like to talk a little bit about the world of payments. And so when we think about that, the world of payments is changing, or probably it's more accurate to say has changed. Where talking about my background and growing up, there was, I'm older than you probably think, but there were credit cards back then, back in the olden days. My dad had one as a small business owner and as a person, but never really used it. And the philosophy then was, I got cash in my pocket. Why would I use this card? And then, sometime actually in the 70s, it really changed of the credit card companies saying, hey, if we offer rewards, we'll actually get more use on our cards and actually make more money for ourselves. And so credit card rewards in the personal side, the way they make their money, and you probably have a personal card, most of you guys listening are out there in the world, is, sometimes they make it off the interest fees. And so some of us, tend to buy things we don't need or can't afford at the time. We want the, this or the that or the trip, and we put it on the card and we pay it off over time. And there's interest that those credit card companies make. They also make a lot of money. And in the business space, we find most of the money actually comes from the interchange. And so many of you in the Honeycomb world take credit cards as part of your business. They're your restaurants, your other types of shops producing various items, and you take credit cards, and there's an interchange, there's a processing fee that's about anywhere 2 to 3%. And so in the space of credit card rewards, the businesses like Capital One, Chase, PNC, American Express mostly don't make their money off the interest. We make it off the interchange. And so of that 2%, we get to take a little bit. And a lot of times, and we'll talk about today, we return some of that value back to our users in the form of rewards, which incentivizes people in the business space to continue to use the cards and pay that way so that they can benefit from the rewards and the benefits. And we'll discuss some of the other benefits as well. And so when we think about it in the business space, we know we can buy certain things, personally with our cards. Some things we can't really, or they don't take a card. We have to still write the checks for, buying the kids' t-shirts at school, things of that nature. But more and more, we're seeing credit card acceptance. It's happening the same way in the business, where many people think only a certain, groups or situations where they can use a business card. There's actually more and more people allowing you to pay with a business card because there's some advantages for them, even though they're eating the cost. And there's some big advantages for you in paying your vendors with a card as well. I've been at this, like I said, almost 9 years now. And really, a lot of the people I first interacted with were using credit cards just to pay for what we call like T&E, the incidental expenses, buying things online, travel, gas, food, just stuff that you almost had to use a credit card for. And they thought, now maybe that's only 2 to 10 to maybe 12% of my overall business spend. It's just not a lot of what we're doing. We're mostly buying materials and items, using check, ACH. And that's kind of way a lot of people think. But we really have done some analyzation on it, and it's a lot higher. We'll get into that of why you might be able to spend more than you thought possible with a credit card. Let's see. So why would you use a credit card, and what are the benefits and advantages to you as a business owner? And the first, I like to think about the rewards, the cash or the points that you could generate. Just like in our personal life, where you might use those rewards or the benefits to take a trip, buy something, just stay ahead of your payments. Same thing in the business space, that you can actually use your business credit card to benefit yourself personally. They do not have to go to the business, although you can put it back into the business, but you can actually benefit yourself in a tax avoiding way. We don't issue, and other cards may or may not, but we don't issue a 1099. If you use a points-based card, you can take those trips personally. And it's just a great benefit to reward yourself for being a business owner, taking the risks and doing all the things that you do. Business credit cards also provide you some float. And so there are cards out there in the marketplace that have pretty low interest. They also have pretty low rewards, but they let you spend on a card and then pay over time. Maybe there are certain business expenses that you just can't afford right now, but it would be vital for you and your business to have, or a resource that you need. This is a way that you can float it out. It can be anywhere from 20, 30, up to 55 days, sometimes without any interest being accrued. And so it's a great way to help yourself through some lean times or some seasonality, things of that nature. It can be really a big benefit that way. Credit cards are also really great at fraud protection. I run into business owners all the time that are still using debit cards. And I'm like, please stop. Like, that is just dangerous and a hassle and a headache. That is back into your bank account right away. And there are limited fraud protections on those. It's really hard to pull that money back if someone gets that number, uses it, has a card reader, a scammer that might be stealing your information. It's really, really difficult. Credit cards are great as far as fraud protection. When something is being used illegally or without your consent, we give the money back. We fix that right away, no questions asked, for the most part. And so it's a really great way to have fraud protection that way. Credit cards, obviously, ease of use. And so when you're out there, you're buying things for your business, you're doing transactions, you're buying things online, even paying your vendors. Instead of getting out the old checkbook, really easy to use a credit card, a lot faster and easier for you to use that way. And then there's a big component to tracking and reconciliation for a business. I'm going to show a short video. Capital One has a full expense management, meaning receipt capture. So if you make a purchase, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's really a great way to kind of help you manage your business and reconcile things with your books. Continuing on, what I was sharing before is that sometimes people think there's not a whole lot of use case. Can I really use this business card in my business? Will my vendors allow me to pay with a card? And so the first thing that Lauren and I do when we interact with the business is say, hey, let me see a vendor file. Who have you paid over the last 6, 12 months? Let us run it through this tool we have called Card Accept. And what we find in that is 10, 20, up to 20, 25% of your business spend, is openly accepting a credit card. And so if you have business spend, of say $500,000, $1 million, whatever it is, about 20% of that you can openly put on a card, typically, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, no fees, no complications. You are going to pay that money anyhow to run your business, buy the things that you need. Why not get rewards? Why not get some float? Why not get the benefits that have putting it on a card? And we can help you figure that out really quick and easy. Just a file out of your accounting software lets us run a report like this. And so this is for a recent client of mine. This was a construction space, but you could see they have the annual spend, and these were the ones up at the top that were like, we know just based on the data we have from Visa and MasterCard, those that will accept payment. Pretty cool tool. I'm going to pause there because we're going to look at 2 videos in the next thing, but I want to just get any feedback, any ideas. Is there anything that came in on the chat that we need to answer as of yet?
Nothing on the chat as of yet. And just a reminder to everybody, as you are going through questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll try to get to all of them through the Q&A session at the end. This is super helpful though, Jason. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that, when you're in the speaker mode, I'm used to presenting like in front of lots of people at times.
Yeah.
So I've done some of those, and I'm like just by myself here and
Yeah.
going, okay. So hopefully it's connecting. Really do think about, what we can answer for you. And again, although, we're happy not to talk just about Capital One, but anything that might be on your mind in this space as well. So even within this, for business owners, you might look at a report like this, even in your own business, and think about, okay, well, I know that these guys would allow me to pay with a card, but I'm pretty sure these don't. Or maybe you've already had interactions. You've tried to use your credit card with your vendors. We actually have a tool. I'm going to show you two tools, two short videos, and I think we have the time to do that. One is called accounts payable. And so this is going to be a tool that lets you pay anybody, everybody with a card. And we actually, on your behalf, Capital One sends out a check or ACH on your behalf. And so they don't know they're getting paid with a card. So imagine like your insurance or someone that says, oh, we don't take a card or we charge 4%. Here's a vehicle to still let you use your card to do that. And let's see if this video.
Introducing a better way to manage your accounts payable process directly from your Capital One business account. Accounts payable saves you time and makes it easy to pay vendors and suppliers, even those that don't accept credit cards, so you can continue earning rewards on every purchase. Enjoy flexible options for paying your vendors. Use your Capital One business card with a small processing fee and defer payments for up to 45 days or use any debit card. You may also make free payments using your bank account or by sending a virtual card payment. Your vendors will receive the payments however you choose, by check, ACH, or virtual card. This one-stop shop feature lives directly on your Capital One business account, which means it's easy and convenient to get started, making your first payment from our dashboard. It allows you to pay all vendor bills directly from your account, mitigating check fraud and protecting your business. Bank transfers and virtual card payments are free. Card payments come with a fee. Your vendors will receive a check or bank deposit, and you get to keep your cash longer. In the meantime, you'll rack up travel or cashback rewards on every purchase using your business card. Accounts Payable simplifies how you pay vendors, allowing you to track and manage all your payments in one place. Say goodbye to hunting down important bills on deadline day. There's more. With this feature, you'll enjoy two-way sync with accounting software like QuickBooks Online. That means a seamless relationship between accounts payable and accounting. Pretty cool, huh? When you're ready to get started, sign into your Capital One business account and select the Manage Accounts Payable option. Then choose how you'll pay and, well, pay. Voila! So go ahead, simplify your accounts payable process today and continue earning unlimited rewards by paying vendor bills with your business card directly from your Capital One business account.
So that's just a tool that we have that's pretty interesting to think about. Who else can you pay? And so I have another construction person, but they're paying all their subcontractors now using this. They've never been able to do that. They don't take a card. They're just other contractors, but they're using this to maximize the rewards they get. There's some tax strategies behind this as well that we could get into. It's more of a one-on-one conversation, as well as some additional float, things of that nature. That's really powerful for people when they want to understand, how else they can pay and use their credit card effectively. There are some competitors that have, some similar things out there. We have an interesting relationship, and this is a tool that we have based on a few factors and bonuses and perks that we have that really work seamlessly. Capital One's kind of been the leader on this. So another thing, not just the reward aspect that Laura and I were actually just talking today about another client. Rewards are really important. People like that for their credit cards, obviously, personally and professionally. There's another tool I wanted to share with you that really makes a difference.
Introducing a better way.
See if I can skip. Here we go. There's another tool that's really effective for business owners. And one of the things we find in getting down and dirty with business owners is that time is such a big deal. Expense management's a really big deal. Expense reporting is a big deal. When you have multiple workers buying things, like how do you keep control of that? How do you reconcile? How do there's the internet jokes and the jokes about like socks getting lost in the dryer. It's even more of an epidemic of people losing receipts. The wind has taken more receipts than you can ever imagine, right? And so keeping on top of that as a business owner, when you've got maybe multiple locations, you got multiple people buying things with your business credit cards, is really hard to do. And so we've actually have a solution for that. Super clean and easy. I want to share that another even shorter video with you on this one.
Managing business expenses can be complex and time-consuming. Capital One's expense management feature streamlines the process with automation and simple approvals, so you can focus on growing your business. Our solution makes it easy for employees to capture and submit expenses. They can also automatically submit their expense reports for quick approvals with the click of a button. As a primary cardholder or designated account manager, your expense dashboard shows a spend overview, broken down by cards, merchants, categories, or employees. And it's where you can review expense reports and approval requests. Employees get a streamlined dashboard for convenient access to submit and track their expenses and to review reports. Plus, they can opt into text messages for capturing receipts and expense details right from their phone. Ready to get started? Enrollment is simple with our guided setup, and it only takes minutes before your employees can start submitting expenses. After choosing which users to add, you'll be able to assign roles, apply rules for submitting receipts, automate expense reports, and set approval workflows. You can further customize by adding policies, adjusting a variety of settings to your preferences, and integrating with accounting software like NetSuite, Sage Intacct, QuickBooks, and Xero. Expense management made simple. That's how Capital One helps move your business forward.
Oh, I did the wrong thing now. So yeah, that's a little bit about expense management. It's been a really useful tool for a lot of our business owners. And so it's simple as that. If you have multiple cards, multiple users, or even just you want to do it for yourself, you as the business owner, as soon as you make a purchase, you had to buy a part or you had to buy some, something for your business, you can set it up so 15 seconds after you make that swipe or that purchase, you'll get a text message saying, hey, do you want to take a picture of that receipt? Bam, you can take a picture. It'll go to an expense report. You can actually make it, I think it's like up to 20 different fields that you can say, like, give me a reason, a description, a PO number, a department, a location, whatever you want to do to kind of designate, what that expense was. I know even I've used it myself. So I have a small side business. Interestingly enough, the Honeycomb, I'm actually a beekeeper, but that's another whole story. And so I can even do that and keep track of things that I don't remember, why I bought this item or this thing. And so, yeah, just a great tool. So
One
I want
thing
to kind
to
of
add,
wrap.
Jason, sorry. With the expense management, it's completely free. So there's a ton of expense management softwares out there. If you Google it, I'm sure tons come up, but this is completely free. It comes with the account, which is a huge benefit that we're giving to all of our Spark card holders. So I just wanted to call that out.
Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that. So I'm going to just take another 3-4 minutes. I'm just going to share a couple of the ones, the cards that we have. If it's something you guys want to look at for Capital One, Lauren and I would be happy to help you provide, applications, resources, where to go and how to do that. We, give expert advice as far as, how to take advantage of, all that we're talking about today. There's a lot of card companies out there. Capital One has really positioned itself as the best money back to you. We want to be the volume player. So the way we make our money, and I shared before, is off the interchange. The industry average everywhere that you can use your card is 2.67%. And so there are a lot of cards you'll see that give you 1% back, 1.5%. When you calculate the points of your travel cards, like with Amex or United, they're about 1 to 1.25%. So they're keeping a lot more, but they're giving you points. Those are good. They've got some other perks and things. Capital One really has said, we want to be the volume player. We're going to give 2% back to our clients. We're going to keep 0.5%. We're the sponsoring bank. And then Visa and MasterCard, we use both of them in different situations, keep about 1.7%. So you'll see, at times on the personal level, especially in some business cards, they'll say oh, gas is 4% or restaurants are 3 or 4%, but everything else is 1. When you really calculate all the places you can use your card, 2% really, when you think about getting 2% in everything, 99% of the time that I've ever seen anything, it's the best way to go. So our premium card right now, we've got 2, and one is called Spark Cash Plus. and that is unlimited 2% cash back, no categories, no restrictions. You can spend and use it as much as you can. We'll never stop giving you 2%. My largest client right now spends about $3 million a month. And so we're truly giving them $60,000 cash back. I know that's bigger than our average Honeycomb business, but the math still is the math, is 2% back coming back to you. And that can be redeemed, like I said, as a statement credit going back to the business, or it can come in a real check in the primary's name, no 1099. So really great advantage there. There's a lot of early spend bonuses. You can earn up to an additional $2,000 if you spend $30,000 in the first 3 months. And I know the different businesses on Honeycomb. Almost every business can spend $10,000 a month on a card. It's really not that hard, and that gives you an extra $2,000 of bonus cash. And so there's a lot of other features and functions around it. I don't want to get too deep into the card that way. The other card we have that's one of our premium cards is our Venture X for Business. And so you've probably seen some marketing and ad campaigns around this lately. And so this is a point-based card, still the same value as the cash card, but it really lets you accrue for the purpose of travel. And so we have a great travel portal, gives you all kinds of flights and hotels and perks and bonuses and things like that. When you use our travel portal to buy tickets or accommodations, we give actually a bonus on that. So we give you 10% back basically for hotels, rental cars, 5% back on flights. And so it's really competitive with Expedia or anywhere else you might already buying your things, but you get some extra bonuses that way. And then you can use this to save up for a great trip for your family. You can use it for business travel if you want, although I wouldn't, because you can write that off. But use it for personal benefit. Go someplace fun. Do something amazing. I wouldn't suggest you visit either Buffalo or Pittsburgh. You'd probably find somewhere else better to go than visit Lauren and I. But there's some really great locations that you can take advantage of that way. Some great perks with our travel card. You get free TSA pre-check. You get access to 1,300. I think it's actually up to 1,400 airport lounges now. There's travel concierge services. There's a lot of great things there. For both of these two cards, like I said, there are premium cards. They are for people with excellent credit. We do have a pre-approval process. So if it's something you're interested in looking at, you will not get declined. You'll know in advance if you get approved for these. And if you don't get approved for these, we've got a couple other great options in the Capital One family. We either have just a regular Spark 2 miles card or a Spark 2% cashback card. They are the same rewards. They've got a lesser early spend bonus, but they also have a lesser annual fee. The annual fee on the other one's not a big deal either, but that's just, I wanted to highlight that here. So this is like an entry card. If you're trying to grow your business, you see better things in the future, the 2% back is our highest level, but this just has like no annual fee for the first year, and easier to get approved for, as far as their credit score and things like that. And then we actually have a 1.5 miles card or 1.5% cashback card that doesn't have an annual fee. And so for businesses that are smaller, and I run into them all the time, that they just say like, Jason, I'm an insurance agent. I can only spend a little bit of money. I don't want any annual fee of any kind. We have options that way too, and they're great. They're just still so much better than paying by check, so much better than using your debit card, and pretty easy to get approved for, as far as on those levels. The other ones, we have more risk and more skin in the game, so we do require a little bit higher credit profile for approval that way. Like I said, I advocate for Capital One. I work for Capital One, and not only do I work for them, I really believe in them, and they've had great success for myself and for so many of my clients. There are other great companies out there, based on situations or things you might want to do or have. But we're really more happy to talk about now. That's kind of the end of the main things I wanted to share. I think we got some time left. We'd love to just kind of see what your questions are and how we can help.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Jason, for going over all of this. I think something that I've heard, pretty frequently from business owners is a question around like ideal credit utilization on a business credit card. Do you have a sense for that? or recommended best practices for business owners?
Lauren, do you want to take that? Because I was actually reading the chat and I didn't fully hear the question.
Yeah. Um, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So as far as credit utilization, the good thing about our cards, the Spark Cash Plus and the Venture X for Business, is that it is a one-time pull on the primary's credit score, but it does not report to the bureaus monthly. So utilization of the card does not hurt them. However, if they're using a personal card for
Mhm.
business purchases, that utilization could affect their personal FICO in a negative way because
Yeah.
it's reporting the utilization. So that's why it's important to separate the two if you can, and get a card like ours that's not reporting monthly, because years ago it used to report monthly and we'd have clients calling us getting upset because they're putting like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month
Yeah.
on the card, and it's reporting to the bureaus if they're doing that, and the bureaus are like, that's a lot of money they on a credit card. So
Yeah.
but now we remove that. So I hope that answers your question. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the next one that I get frequently, when business owners are applying for loans is just overall, like what are the best expenses that should be going on a business credit card versus other payment methods? Would you say everything, or are there certain things that you're like, you should be
Yeah.
paying for your employees via a business credit card?
I mean, any other business that will allow you to pay with a credit card, and you know, are not going to be silly, like a college kid and buy the biggest screen TV and stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
Put it on a credit card because it's giving you protection. It's even giving you purchase protection if that thing,
Hmm.
breaks or gets damaged or whatever. There's purchase protections, and then um, it is giving you rewards of some sort. Capital One, I think, is really the premium. We really give the most back, but
Yeah.
man, even getting 1% back on your current card, if you have those and you don't want to apply or you don't want to make a change, do that because you're getting a reward back. And then you're getting longer to pay. You're getting, even 20, 30, 40 days afloat is a good thing that way. So it really does help you. There are times where you might have vendors or suppliers that will give you a cash discount. And so they'll say like, hey, this costs $700, but we'll give you a 1 or 2% cash discount. Well, pay cash, like do that, like take advantage of that.
Sure.
However, that accounts payable piece that I just talked about, where we send it a check or ACH, you can really double dip. You can send them a check. They will not know you're getting paid with their credit card. There's a small fee that you eat on our end, but you're getting the cash discount and you're getting the rewards. You do that all day. So, um, you know, wherever you can do it and you know that you are going to be able to pay off the credit card, put spend on a credit card. Now, if you are a seasonal business and someone says like, hey, you need to pay us, and they're going to give you extended terms, or they're going to, work with you to not charge a fee or interest and let you pay that, item or situation off. If you can forestall them, um,
Yeah.
and your money and your cash flow is not good, do not pay as a credit card, because we and other credit card companies are going to charge you interest and fees and this and then that. And so we really, Lauren and I really try to teach our customers that are using our cards most effectively is treat this like a glorified debit card. Put spend on, but know that you can pay it off. If you do not know that you can pay it off, uh, tell your vendors, your suppliers, oh yeah, the check is in the mail, and pay them that way. That's the time not to use a credit card if you can't pay it off.
That makes a lot of sense. So what would you say are, it seems like not spending on the credit card and is one mistake that business owners will make. What are some other common mistakes that you'll see um, with business owners and credit card usage?
One thing I see some business owners do is they have some cards that have points that they earn.
Hmm.
And they're like, I have 4 million points on my credit card, as if it's like a flex. And I'm like, well, what are you doing with that? So
Uh,
not really taking full advantage of what they have there available to them. So actually redeeming the rewards and doing something
Yeah.
substantial with it. But most often with our card, we don't see that because it's cash and people always find a way to spend cash.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I do hear a lot in the industry is people are kind of points hoarding, what we say.
Yeah, and I've seen it with Lauren with cash too. I had someone that had like over $30,000 in there, and I was like,
Oh my
we don't
gosh.
give you any interest. Like, take it and
Right.
put it somewhere. Like, do
Yeah.
something with this. Like,
Right.
Something
Yeah.
like this.
we're
Yeah.
not your bank. We're your credit card. You can get those, put it in an interest-bearing account. High yield savings, or put it
Yeah.
back in your business, or buy something with it, or take your family on vacation, or whatever. So
Yep.
that's a great call out.
And last question here, like how can credit card usage help business build business credit? And like why is that even important in the first place for business owners here on this call?
So that's a great question. And so it does factor into business credit. We do report to the business credit bureaus. Using a business credit card will help your business credit, and using it effectively, put and spend on, paying it off.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had further insights. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, we actually had, like you might know about personal credit reporting tools, right? There's
Yeah.
like Credit Karma, there's all these different
Yeah.
places that you can get your free credit report about you personally. So Capital One tried to do that on the business credit card side. We call it Business Credit Wise. So we have a free service called Credit Wise that lets you check your personal credit score. We tried to do it on the business side, and it ran for about 6 months, and we actually ended up shutting it down, not because of anything, but the business credit space is like this thing that's really hard to get your arms around. Even though we are like leaders in credit card and know about business credit, it was something that we just felt we couldn't effectively communicate how business credit works. There's a number out there, it's in the world. It is just very hard to gather, right? People are with the loans and the financing and lines of credit. So it's not something we're really great at, and not just us, like anybody. You cannot find a tool that tells you what your business credit score is that I'm aware of. However, doing things like this, especially new businesses, using your EIN, you'll on an application with Capital One or most other credit card providers, you'll need your name, your social, your business name, your business EIN. Those are like 4 key components, along with address and incomes and revenues and things like that. So it does report, and having an effective, useful credit card where you're spending and paying it off definitely does help your business credit score. Just kind of hard to kind of quantify that always.
Sure. And looks like we had a question in the chat from Caesar, and Lauren addressed it. But awesome. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That one. And they also ask about categories. Someone asked earlier about categories. So our cards typically are not category cards. We are a flat, try to be on the aggressive side of the flat rate. So either 2% or, like I said, 1.5%, or the miles or the points. There are cards that have category spend. And so if you are, like there's an Amex card, American Express card that, gives a little bit extra for, I believe, advertising. One of them, you can tweak it to be shipping, things like that. So if that's your space, definitely go ahead and utilize that. When anyone has a category spend, when you look at the actual fine print, everything else is going to be either a lesser value or no value. And so they're trying to steer you to spend on this, but they really are kind of a loss leader to some degree. So they're saying, we'll break even on that. Remember, my average is 2.67. Even if they give you 3 on that, they're losing money there, so they can give you a lesser reward on everything else. When most people analyze their businesses, most of those categories are not where they spend like over 50% of their spend. It's maybe 5, 10, 20%. And they're kind of losing money out of getting a good overall card for the bulk of their business spend.
Amazing. Well, I think that concludes the end of this webinar. Thank you so much, Jason and Lauren, for joining us today. We are going to be sending this in a download format via email. So stay tuned if you weren't able to listen to the whole time. And then Jason and Lauren, if someone wants to learn a little bit more about Capital One, how can they do that?
Yeah, I'd say the best. Lauren's now a people leader. She's over a whole giant team of people, but I'm kind of the best point person. And then where it is effective, I have teammates and people and situations. And so, like I said, I'm based in Pittsburgh. I work on deals across the country, but a lot of times, if you're in other places than here, I will bring in a teammate to kind of co-do that with me. But I'd be a great point person just with that Honeycomb Capital One relationship that we have. So I can throw my email in the chat, or we can put it on the deck that you send out, Emery.
Love it. Love it. And one last question here. It looks like Caesar is looking for the link to apply. Do you want to have that
I'll
on
follow up
file?
with you, Caesar. I got your email. I'll send you an email and we'll talk.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And let's stay in touch and stay on the lookout for the download, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Great to
Have
talk
a
to
good
you.
day.